Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me for another beer review. Hope you're all well. Apologies for the chair again. The video that's currently being uploaded that will be up tomorrow, which will be a day before this one, I said about the chair in that, and I've had to think since. I'm certain we've got one of these blue sort of camping fancy chairs, you know, if you go to like a festival or something. Certainly got one of them sitting in the shed. So I think what I'm going to do is get rid of this bloody thing that creaks and swap it for that, so and it'll be more comfortable for me. So hopefully the squeaky chairs thing will disappear in a couple of days. Anyway, we're back with another beer now, and it's one of the beers that I picked up actually on Saturday when I went to Mould, and it's one of the beers I picked up from Bargain Booze, and it's from a brewery out of Mould, which is Hafod Brewing Co. And we are taking a look at their London Pale, and it is a session pale ale, and this is coming in at 4.1% ABV. It's in a 500ml bottle. Jesus Christ, trying to read the stuff on here. Blah, 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 blah. It's North Wales anyway. It doesn't say an awful lot on the bottle from what I can see. But there you go. London Pale. I suppose that's like, oh yeah. Real sort of, I'm trying to think what the word is. Can't think of the word, but let's put a picture of London streets on the bottle. Normally, I'm not sure how much it was, but at the time when I went into the shop in this Bargain Booze that's in Mould, it was 2 for £5 of their beers. I picked up 4, which was a tenner. I think it's about £2.75, £2.95 for an individual bottle. But like I say, 2 for £5. It's cost me £2.50, and they like to support local breweries. So there's a crown, just a plain silver crown. I do like the artwork on the label, and I haven't got a Hafod brewing glass, so I'm going to whack it in a Stormtrooper beer pale ale glass, if you like. Well, it could be a fucking Eddie glass, couldn't it? Really don't have to be pale ale, but I know Stormtrooper do pale ale, so I'll just whack it in that one. Let's get it cracked open. Shut up, Baz. It's been in the fridge. It's chilled down to about 4 or 5 degrees. Let's see what we get. I'm trying to be a bit vigorous. Let's have a decent head on this beer. We'll try and get something that resembles a head, let's put it that way. I won't put it all in because I'm going to swirl it around, so there is some left in there. Beer in a glass. Odd bubble sticking, which we sorted out. So there we go. It looks very, it's pretty much crystal clear, isn't it? Look at that. You can see my ugly mush straight through it. In a glass. Very golden. Very golden, I would say. A few gentle bubbles going up the middle of the glass. About a finger of slightly off-white head. Let's dive in. London Pale Ale. Let's have a sniffers. Yeah, you get the hoppy notes. A little malty grainness, but there's nothing really to speak of. It's grain, it's hops, and that's it. There's nothing actually sort of, for me, that I pick up. There's no sort of toffee caramel or anything, or any fruity notes, or, you know, the nearest I could probably go to is sort of like a hedgerow sort of feel to it from the hops. But other than that, it just smells of malt and hops. That's all it smells of. So there we go. Let's get the rest in the glass. Try and get a nice head on that. Ooh, that was close. That was close. It was a good job it didn't go any more, wasn't it? Straight over. There we go. Hafod Brewing Co. out of Mould, North Wales. London Pale Session Pale Ale. 4.1% ABV. Let's dive in. Cheers. Yeah, it's pleasant without actually really chucking any sort of flavour at you, if I'm totally honest. It really is. It's one of them. It's one of them. Very traditional, as you'd expect. what I will say, 4.1%, I think that body is really, really good. That is a nice body. Absolutely no wishy-washiness with it, no wateriness with it. It's got a little bit of weight, it's got some density. When you drink it, it actually feels like there's something there that you're drinking and not just swallowing this empty liquid. It's not the smoothest in the mouth, it's got to be said. It's quite busy, or reasonably busy, but it sort of roughens up the mouthfeel. So the mouthfeel isn't the greatest, I'm going to say. Maybe it does the beer some favours, being that sort of carbonated. Maybe gives it that fuller sort of feel to it. Ignoring the carbonation, the liquid is quite smooth, quite pleasant. On the taste, it is very much a grainy, hoppy beer, and that is pretty much all it is. You're not really... I will come to some flavours that I might be getting in there, but ultimately, if we keep it simple, it is literally malt and malt, grain, hops. That is it. That's the sort of taste you get in it. Starts off malty, a little bit of sweetness in there, maybe a little inkling of toffee, caramel, toffee sort of thing going on in there, a little inkling of it. Goes to a hoppy side, you get that hedgerow sort of feel, but without the fruitiness, if you know what I mean. You just that hedgerow sort of hoppy taste. And then it just goes to a little sweet back end, slightly sweet back end, the malty back end really. So it's a very simple beer, a very simple beer. That said, it's a nice beer. It's kind of boring, but pleasant. It's one of them that sometimes you'd go, God, that's a bit dull. But it wouldn't really offend you, wouldn't upset you. It's probably all you expect from this sort of beer, a session pale ale. You don't really expect a massive amount from it, if I'm honest. You know, modern day sort of pale ales, you get sort of like a little citrus note, this, that, and the other. This you don't really. This is very sort of old school, and it shows in the taste. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. Drink's really nice, to be honest. It goes down easy. 4.1%. Does it drink like that? There's enough sort of hoppy, malty sort of taste in there, grainy taste, to say it maybe drinks. I wouldn't say it drinks any stronger, but it could certainly pass as something a little bit bigger, but without exciting you with flavours, if you know what I mean. Just proper old school stuff that isn't going to wow you or anything. You could say it's boring, and yeah, it kind of is, but it's pleasant. It's pleasant. It's one of them. So for me, Hafod Brewing Co. out of Mould, London Pale Ale. Now I know my mate Rob. I think he's off to Aberystwyth soon. So I think he was on about popping by Mould on the way home or something to pick these up. I think this, Rob's a brewer. He's a home brewer. That bloke would appreciate this to the hill. So Rob, if you watch this, pick some of these beers up. And you'll know what I mean by saying it might be a little bit dull, boring, but it's proper beer. And for that reason, I can't knock it. I can't knock it. So yeah. London Pale, Session Pale Ale from Hafod Brewing Co. I'm going to give it a thumbs up, just because it's just real beer, no bullshit, real beer. They haven't tried to fucking rob you of that. Pardon me. So there you go. Gas is all out. If you've had this beer before, let me know if you enjoyed it. Go and give it a try. If you are a traditional beer drinker, give that beer a try. As traditional as it comes. Hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to comment. Thank you all for watching. Like I say, help me get up to that 3,000 mark on the subs. So if you have watched it, give us one of them things, like my videos and all that shit. And I'll see you again soon on another one. Cheers.